Hi, what surprised you as you read The Color of Law? Was this history known to you? I was surprised how the government had so much control over what kind of people can access things like loans, mortgages, and other financial services needed to like purchase homes or properties. I thought that that's very odd for the government to have that much control since America's like a democracy and it's like free. It shouldn't have that much control over that. What do you know about your own community and your local zoning policies during the 20th century? I don't know much about my own community. It seems like there are some segregated areas in my county, but from my experience, it seems that like my area was pretty integrated. Um, what would it look like if your community were required to have its fair share of middle class, minority, and low and moderate income? Um, what was I saying? I think my community does have its fair share of middle class, minority, and low and moderate income housing. There's a side where it's more middle class and higher income, and there's also a side where it's very low income, like there's mobile homes and motels, and I feel like at my school you could also see like the rich kids and then the less fortunate kids. Is there anything missing from The Color of Law that might modify its argument? The only thing that I could think of while like watching the lecture is he could maybe mention more of the other minority groups that are also affected by redlining and segregated residency. I feel like in his lecture he mainly focused on African Americans. I think he could get his point even more across if he noted that almost every minority group comes into effect. If your community and or school are racially segregated, has this resulted in fewer interracial friendships? I would say there's a lot of diversity in my community, or more than normal. Personally, I've had interracial friendships, and I've seen a lot of people from my school have interracial friendships. My school has become more diverse throughout the years since it's become a school of choice. So there's a lot of diversity around my community. So it makes it easier for those kind of interracial relationships. What are some of the consequences of missing out on cross-racial friendships? I think if you don't make those kinds of interracial relationships, then you won't be able to understand other people's culture and the difference between what they go through and what you go through. I think this could teach you a lot. It can make you more open-minded and more sympathetic, and also have more respect towards other people. So in all, you just become a more respectful person. What is one thing you'd like to better understand about your home or community and how you came to live there? I want to look deeper into more of my history of my community, or how it was back then compared to now. And I think over my years living there, I can see a change for the better. Just more diversity and a lot more opportunity. So I would like to know how and why they did that. Were you surprised that Chief Justice John Roberts got his facts wrong, as Rothstein states? Who else have you seen get their facts wrong? I'm not really that surprised that he was wrong, because in today's world there's a lot of things like fake news and people that like just spread misinformation. So it's easy to be manipulated. Also, there are many textbooks or readings out there that aren't updated and can have a lot of false information. So in a way, I don't really blame him. I don't dread heavily on his misleading information, as in today's world it's really easy to be misled. If you have learned this history, or where did you learn it? I've learned a little about segregated residency and redlining through, I think it's related to a theory called systematic discrimination. Basically, it's like this theory where in today's society, it's built off a racist society. Like back then, everything was like based off like white men having a higher power than other races, and I think that like that kind of carries on and builds through and can make things like redlining and segregation. The only question I have is, like, does redlining or systematic segregation still happen today? Is it a lot more common than I think it is? I see a lot of segregated areas, but I don't know if it's because of redlining or just because the way it is. Maybe they like it like that. And yeah.